Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today you'll recognize it already, if not from the title of the video. We are going to be doing our City Skylines Fix the Traffic scenario. If you're not already familiar with this screen here, this is the goal screen whereby we want our traffic flow to be over 82%. Simultaneously with a population over 35,000. We lose the game if the population goes either under 25,000 or we go over 200 game weeks. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. Important things to note at the beginning. This is our traffic flow to begin with. We have 63% traffic flow, and if I was to play the game, I would assume it would only get worse as traffic starts to back up. Lots of highly red areas. These are problematic areas. Red doesn't always mean bad, but you can see as we zoom in, lots of cars gridlocked. I'll play it for a little while. These cars are not moving fast at all, which means they're going to build up as we progress. Other red areas, perhaps not so bad. For example, this isn't a very big queue here, but it may become worse. This is probably an example of an area that's red, but not too bad. On top of that, there are a few other issues in the city. If we go to our garbage, I should explain, I do have a few mods on, however, I'm not planning on using any that aren't ease of access mods or quality of life mods. So for example, this mod here, show it. If I put that over the garbage availability, it'll show me where the garbage centres are. And again, you'll notice they are in two very concentrated areas. That's going to pump out traffic. We also have here an industry area, another industry area, another industry area. Again, they're not spread out. Big one down here as well, and this one's got one of the worst accesses. So trucks are going to go between those areas. If we highlight a road going into or out of that area, you will see that the trucks want to go to those areas as well as the commercial areas. So that's an awful lot of road use. We take trucks off and put private vehicles on. Similar story, they want to get to the residential areas, and both the trucks and the pedestrians, or pedestrian vehicles I should say, they all want to get through this junction here. So that is going to be the first thing we fix. And I think what I'm going to do to create this fix is pop us into a time lapse, because it'll take a little while. I'm going to build the junction myself, not rely on mods or pre-built stuff. So sit back and enjoy. Hello everyone, welcome back. Hopefully you enjoyed the little time-lapse build there. What you can see is we have now given the north-south traffic their own little road through. We have given the west-east traffic their own straight road through. And in the middle layer, what we've done is put a roundabout intersection in, whereby each lane can exit and enter onto this roundabout to choose any other direction they want to go, providing they do not want to go straight ahead. One thing that probably was worth telling you is before I started that time lapse, I took all of my grants. So that said, we've only got 200,000 of money left, and it's all we're going to get. And considering the investment we've made into this city, I think it's only fair that we allow ourselves to put the tax up. Budgets we should be able to leave for now, and the loans, we're still going to keep the money out because we've got more work to do. That was not the only problem when you look at our traffic areas. Two absolutely glowing problems to me, because I have played this before, albeit some years ago. These roundabouts, there's two of them, they're round the wrong way. So we're going to flip the direction of all of those roundabouts. And we're also going to change these roads from one-way roads to two-way roads, because why is that a one-way road? It makes no sense to me at all. If that if that roundabout functions properly, there's no reason for that traffic to be one way only. So we'll fix that straight up. A few other little fixes aside from this second roundabout that we are going to flip round as well. There's too many roads there. You do not need that many roads, and they do not need to be that thick either. What have we got in there? We have an office area. Offices do not produce an awful lot of traffic. You do not need that road network. So a lot of that we're just going to take out. We will leave the road that comes north to south down the middle. We'll get rid of these other little squares. I don't need that road there either. We don't need that one. And the rest of the roads, they can be downgraded. Now, there is a population requirement for this task, which means I shouldn't take this opportunity to demolish houses just in case we dip below. However, we did note this was all pretty much offices or shops. It doesn't actually matter if they despawn. As far as the challenge goes, we will regrow them. Not just yet, however, but we will regrow them. Where else was a problem area? This is its whole own problem. We will leave that for a little while just now. This road up the middle as well. So many junctions packed close together. It's completely unnecessary. But before that, I want to give the traffic always another opportunity to go somewhere else. So we're just going to take small roads and we're going to link up a few other areas that may not otherwise be linked together. Now this means that traffic will not always have to go through the busiest route, but it also gives people a chance to, for example, walk or cycle if they would rather choose that. So if, for example, you live here and you work over here, we'll put the proper overlay on. It now means you don't have to come down here, mess around in this horrible traffic built up area and move back up here. You can just go. And you can bypass all the traffic, similar to down here where you were just able to bypass that crossover without having to get in each other's paths. We have a similar situation over here. Big residential area, including high density. What if you work in here? What's the point in sneaking all the way through here when we can just have this straight road? So we're going to add in few other roads like this. We shall get a nice curve on it as well. And second example, what if we live here and we want to access other areas of the city? Is there any point in them coming all the way west into this horrible upright with all the junctions mashed together? Not really. Let's give these guys some highway access as well. Fingers crossed I have enough money for this. Providing I do, you're about to see a time lapse. Welcome back once again. This one, not expected to be quite as high traffic, so you'll see it is much of a simpler design. What we have is, why are you up? What we have is a simple roundabout. The traffic going from north to south simply have to use the roundabout, and there are connections from the highway going both west and east. The only bit I'm not really happy with is this bit jammed in here. We can only fix that by buying a tile. We'll do that if we need to, or we can cheat with a sneaky mod, but I'm going to try not to do that. The only mod really that I've used so far, apart from visual mods such as Show It and Cloud and Fog Disabler, was Move It, and that was just to make the height of this bridge a little bit smoother. It would be completely functional without it. Likewise, you could get there with the vanilla tools. And I did it a little bit over here as well, not very much. So still predominantly a vanilla playthrough at the moment. You could emulate this rather on console. And the money is starting to deplete. So what I'm going to do is hit play. We're going to see how this holds up while we do some more small fixes around the map. We do have positive income, though we do have people leaving the city. I'm not sure why that is. We've not destroyed houses, although we may have destroyed workplaces. So one other thing I am keen to do is see what we can do with this road going all the way up here. See which parts of the road we can delete, which junctions we can delete, And also, do we really need 3 lanes up and down? I don't think we do. So we're going to immediately downgrade this road to be 2 lanes everywhere except for where we have a new lane joining. So simple lane mathematics here, as well as just hopefully reducing the traffic. And I think we can also, well, that's already 2 lanes, isn't it? What we will do is we'll pop that bit back up to 3 and there as well. So the whole point and purpose of leaving bits of 3 lanes is we've got 2 lanes coming down from the north, plus another one coming down from this junction. That makes 3. It just gives everyone a lane to go into. Now, the way the game works with the AI, you'll see there is some issues, particularly like we have here on the right-hand side. This traffic coming in doesn't want to come up this lane. It wants to cross. It is a quirk of the game. It could be potentially fixed. It couldn't even be fixed with Traffic Manager. It's something we're going to have to think about as we progress with the game. However, it does seem that the problem is these guys aren't able to move. And these guys aren't able to move. There's a bit of a reason from that as well. We have 1 lane coming in here, plus 2 from the right. We really need 3 lanes across that bridge, that spur. And they all need 3 lanes, so we're going to pop them all in to see if that helps us out. Are we at the bottom one yet? We're not. Now we also have traffic lights. We're going to deal with them the vanilla way by opening up our junctions. In fact, I was going to say we'd already cleared the traffic. We haven't. But we want to make this road going west to east a priority road. We want to put a stop sign there, but we want cars that have entered this area to be able to leave this area. And then these cars can hopefully filter in and not clog up here quite so badly. So give way to all the side roads. As you can see, there's not an awful lot of traffic on the side roads. They are fairly empty. That one will leave traffic lights on. So now, any cars that have entered going westerly or easterly, they can move. These cars are now free to pick their space. On they go, less backup. I'm slightly worried about my roundabout here. Let's just have a look at where all of these cars are going. If they're going south, we might just be able to put a straight shortcut in for them, and then they don't have to clog this area up here. So onto routes, click this road. Yep, you can see lots of trucks. They don't need to do that. The trucks can take a shortcut if we give them one. So what are we currently on? We're currently on, I believe that's a 3-lane road. Let's get rid of the overlay. It's not a 3-lane road yet. We're going to make it a 3-lane road. And just before that, we're going to make it a 4-lane road. That can go back a bit further. And from here, we're going to give them 3 lanes to filter into. We want our slip road. Take our slip road off there. We'll give it a nice curve, or as nice as we can do. Let's take off these road guidelines. down. So now, if you are a vehicle wanting to come in from the west and head south, you don't need to go down here and take this horrible U-turn. And you can see cars already starting to take it. The reason I made the road wider before is people wanting to turn right will use these two lanes to queue in for the first and second exit respectively. And the two lanes further up here are going to be used to carry on straight ahead. And it seems to be working. We could do something similar over here as well. Immediately, it's obvious, we could put in our 3-lane road there, which will straight away give a lane for turning off, hopefully allowing other cars to go straight forward. But again, this is a pinch point that we don't really want to be there. So let's see if this works. I'm less confident that this one's going to work, purely because I don't know where I'm going to add this road to. I know exactly where I'm going to add this road to now. We've got a road that comes parallel to this all the way up. Why on earth would we not use it? It's also a road without a great deal of houses on it. It probably doesn't need to be that large. Definitely doesn't need to be that large, actually. I'm going to downsize that and hook my cheat road into here. I'm just thinking, do I need a roundabout or anything? No, I think I can go straight in. One thing I did forget to mention on the commentary is if I open up my road tab again and go, I'll need to put the overlay on and go underground. No, I didn't do it. I'm mistaken. I thought I added a wee cheat road through. That might still be an option. The reason I didn't actually is because I needed to jigger around with this first. I don't like this 5-way junction. So let's... how are we going to do it? We'll do both these fixes and then we'll see what happens next. And take that away from there. That road does not need to be the size that it is. We're going to link that road through from here. We'll put our snapping back on. That is an annoyance that I didn't anticipate. That it's not a zonable building. So we'll have to come in from this side. Now, where would be a good point to connect from this area to this area? Would it be that road? I've just realised that is technically a roundabout, but also the wrong way around. We'll fix that. It's not quite a roundabout, it is a box, but it's a one-way box. And now that we have done that, we're going to take one of these roads, see if they will squeeze underneath. It won't quite, it's going to have to be this one. Is that going to work? That is going to work. We're underground. Let's get the nice curve tool back. There's no point in making the city ugly. We'll come back above ground. We'll connect that into there. Come back to our original road. Is it worth connecting that over here? Possibly not. Well, we have our big roads though. Let's also connect this to that main road there to get more connections. Okay, so that is another improvement. Another area whereby it will prevent trucks going back and forth using this intersection. What is our traffic flow at? 59%, which is still shockingly bad if we're being honest with ourselves. I think what I need is more lanes further back here as well to allow people the opportunity to lane select. Oh no, we've not even put in our little cheat yet, have we? Let's do our cheat first. Let's do our cheat from about here. It goes to ground level. And we will choose our 4-lane road before we feed into it. Take our 3-lane road for in there. This should help. Now, it isn't the priority road. Remember, this is a junction that we put our priority signs on, but we're going to hook. That doesn't want to hook up there. Will a smaller road hook up there? It will. We're downgrading this. This is all coming smaller. It's only businesses that are on it. And hopefully that will hook up to these other areas. I'll connect. That'll connect. Brilliant. So, if you want to come here from the east, presumably you can dive up here and cheat your way in. That looks silly being full size. I don't know if that's the smartest move or not, but it's the move we're going for. And it does look like it's doing something. This is starting to clear. It's good. Down here we're still having issues. But the issues are from in here, and it's a backup rather than the junction failing us, I think. That does look like it's going to have to be the next place to get fixed. Oh, our population is getting scarily low. We are 2,000 off failure. So we might have to think about adding in some more housing somewhere. Then we'll fix this area. So I'm thinking up here by the river is good for housing, especially since we've got our extra connection here, which you'll see is being used. And again, we'll hook up to this workplace also. We'll use the tree-lined roads as we are going for residential. And finish with a curve. And as always, we've broken something. In this case, it is the power lines. That one I think does need rectified. Yep, that is the power to our water source. Let's see if we can draw these roads in nicely. If we follow the curvature of the ground, that was probably going to look a little bit nicer. Oh, we have a lot of abandoned houses over here as well. Maybe, what's that the result of? Let's have a check. It's been abandoned because it has low land value. So we're going to need to put in something nice over here as well, be it parks or something else. Population is starting to pick up again. So, do I want this to be high or low density? Well, there's not too much traffic in our junction, so we can afford to put some more high density in. But I am going to leave space for some nice parks and plazas. That will do. We're also going to allow some shops to go in here, because if they need to shop, there's no point in them always going halfway across the map just to find a shop. The joys of mixed zoning, something the game doesn't really allow. Right, let's make this area nice. Into the parks. What shall we give them? Let's give them a large playground. Slope too steep. Excellent. Oh, it'll fit in there. Let's give them a smaller park as well, where I know it'll fit. In fact, let's put them in these junctions in the middle. Everyone's moved out anyway, so it's not exactly a problem. So you can see lots of green in that area now. Hopefully they will rezone. Looking here, it's possible we could use a school in this area as well. Maybe even a high school. I'll take it far away from the junction. Let's see if we can get the schools down by the river. I'm not sure if that's safe or not. Probably not. I'm going to have to destroy that power line again, but it happens. In fact, the schools themselves will probably reconnect that. The power will go through the buildings. Oh, that's a horrible looking school. Of course, this is the European selection. Let's use this one instead. Cannot build on water. It's not on water. Come on, stop flooding. Okay, I know how I'm going to stop that flooding. Let's just check the electricity's gone back first. It has not. Connect that there. It's going to cost some money, but we have a steady flow. I'm going to take these water pipes and I'm going to suck up the water from here. I'll add in some piping. Should have electricity. That will stop that area flooding. Can we get a high school? Oh, this high school is massive. What's the community high school like? Too much of a slope. Well, in that case, we shall utilise the fact that the river is going down. We shall provide ourselves with a bridge from A to B. Oh, in fact, I expected that to bridge. It didn't bridge. That area has dried up magnificently. Which means we could actually put something more in it if we wanted. Trying to get an area that's not going to be too flat, or too sloped rather, I should say, for our high school. It is big. It would go straight in. Let's do that. And now, if we ever get a lack of electricity, these will stop sucking up. The school floods, and all the kids get a holiday. They'll love it. But more schools should brighten this area up as well. Population is starting to rise. Money still in the up. You're complaining about sewage again. Why is our sewage down? Electricity. Why is our electricity down? It says we're making plenty of electricity. I reckon we've knocked out a power cable. That's it there. This area is not getting out. Although it's linked up through other areas, is it not? Maybe not. I think this is the problem. If we reconnect this, does that fix the issues? It does. Everything's blue again. No more complaints. If we go to our land value as well, this area is not low in land value anymore. I think that is a good finishing point for today's episode. We have fixed a large quantity of the highway and further north. We do still need to do a little bit of tweaking in here, but a lot of that is backed up because of the problems further south. But we're going to wrap this video up here. Like, share, subscribe, and that way you'll know exactly when part 2 is out. Ladies and gents, have a good one, keep yourself safe, take care.